Hello my freaky darlings and welcome back to my shack. Last week I read out of the paperback version of Shadows, and today I'm going to read out of the ebook version. Isn't it lovely? It's a b-book in Europe. Okay, so second scene. The drive home was uneventful. A feeling stirred in my gut that wouldn't go away. I ground my teeth and hoped that a night clinging to Kevin would drive out those dark shadows lurking in my mind. The electric gate screamed for more oil as it opened. I gripped Kevin's leg a little harder than I intended. He winced from the pain. Quickly removed my hand from his thigh, but held it tightly as we drove up the driveway. It was reassuring having him hold my hand like that. His touch made me feel safe. The gate slammed shut behind us. "Are you sure you're okay?" Kevin asked, not looking at me. "What with your dad and now this guy?" His fingers tapped on the steering wheel. He wasn't very good with handling people who were a little upset. He liked it when things were nice and normal. As long as everything seemed to be smooth on the surface, he was happy. We came to a stop at the back of the main house and in front of my one-bedroom cottage. "I'm fine." I got out of the car and closed the door a touch too hard. "Hey, my car didn't do anything to you." He loved his car. He spent hours primping and polishing it. His car was cleaner than he was most of the time. Sometimes I had the feeling that his car was more important than I was. "I'm sorry. The handle slipped out of my hand." He shook his head and locked the car with the remote and walked me to the door in silence. My hands shook as I tried to put the key inside the lock. "Are you cold?" Kevin asked as the key rattled against the brass door handle. "Know why?" I finally managed to fit the key in its hole and turned the lock. "Because you're shaking like a leaf." "Really? I hadn't noticed." "For God's sake, Sarah, stop pretending that you're okay. You're obviously not coping." "I'm handling it fine." I couldn't face the thought that Kevin might be right. Was I coping? "Then why are you freaking out?" "I'm not freaking out." I refused to admit that I was bloody scared. "I need a drink. What about you?" "Yeah, sure, why not?" I needed to forget the fear and the pain in my father's death. I'd always been a supporter of the fake it till you make it club. If it meant faking being a sex kitten to get through the night, then that's what I would do. I left him standing at my front door and sauntered off into my kitchenette. I had an oversized fridge I'd inherited from my sister. There wasn't space for a proper oven in the kitchen. Instead I had a microwave and a hot plate on the only counter. Despite the cramped space, it was done tastefully. The cupboards were dark wood and the silver handles on the countertops had a black marble finish. I opened the ancient fridge and took out a half-full bottle of wine that Kevin and I had opened a few nights previously. Before my life changed forever, I felt him come up behind me. His hand snaked its way up and under my tight black camisole. His lips caressed my neck and found their way to my earlobes. He nibbled the lobes gently. I gasped. His hand gripped my breast. Fingernails bit into my flesh. He was breathing hard. I slammed the fridge door closed and turned into his embrace. My lips found his as he pushed me back hard against the fridge. I managed to keep a tight hold of the bottle. Pushing him away, I took a swig of wine and handed it to him. While he drank, I pulled the camisole over my head. His eyes watched me as he took another drink. I played with my nipples and then slid my left hand down slowly towards my crotch. He liked to watch. He put the wine bottle on the counter and then kissed me hard. I pushed him against the wall and pulled away from him. Undoing the top button of my jeans, my fingers found their way down. I pulled my hand back out and let him lick the juices from my fingertips. I turned and walked towards the bedroom. I heard his shoes tapping on the tiles as he followed me. I knew Kevin would drive the fear and pain I felt deep in my bones out of my body. I surrendered every inch of me. Well, that's that scene. Hope you enjoyed it and that it was steamy enough for you. Oh, and have a Merry Christmas and a really freaky day.